Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I will be doing a collective energy reading for the week of December from December 28th till January the 3rd, I believe. So just to get a little bit of clarity about the collective energy for the people who will be watching this video, like what's coming up as a theme for this period of time. So without further ado, let's get one card for the theme of the week when it comes to this energy. Okay. Okay, we got protection. Okay, so let's get 3 frequency cards when it comes to which vibrations will we be dealing with, struggling with, or thriving in during this time. Anything really related to this protection card. What is this protection card about when it comes? Okay, this one wanna come out. Okay, I think that's enough. Interesting. Hope that you can see these cards well enough. We have comfort in reverse. We have return to source. And we have diversity in reverse. So I will read all of these cards now from the little booklet here. I'm already familiar with this one and I'm seeing a correlation, but I want to read them all to you before we continue. So 12, comfort. Let me just find it. So in reverse. If you have drawn this card in reverse, you hide behind your comforts. You have failed to take many self-loving risks in the name of safety. Don't let your addiction to playing it safe and keeping it comfortable hold you back now. You have been seeking comfort in unhealthy ways. It is time to get out of your comfort zone. You know what you have to do. Now is the time for action. Okay, interesting. Yes, I had a feeling about this card the most when it comes to this protection card, but now this relates really nicely with it as well. Okay, let's read all 3 of them before we start getting more in depth. So 67, return to source. Just a moment. Okay, if you have drawn this card upright, this is the end of a phase or aspect of your life. You must close one door in order to open another. You need to put the something behind you and part ways, ready to embrace new opportunities and possibilities. It may be difficult to let go at times, but you will soon see how important it is that you can bring renewal and transformation into your life. Death teaches you to let go of outworn and outgrown ways of life and move forward. This card may suggest that it's time to break a bad habit or pattern of behavior. This is a time of eliminating excess and cutting out what is not necessary in your life. This may be a good time to purge old belongings, memories, and baggage that is getting in your way. If you resist these necessary endings, you may experience pain both emotionally and physically. But if you exercise your creative imagination and visualize a new possibility, you allow for a more satisfying life experience. Clear away the old to make the way for the new. Okay, very good. So let's see this one. I'm the most curious about it. We will talk about all of them and how they relate, just to read them first. Okay. If you have drawn this card in reverse, you feel invalidated and misunderstood. Deep down, you feel that if someone doesn't agree with you, something is wrong with you. Oh, don't I find that relatable right now? Oh, so deep down you distrust others and you're desperately afraid. You hate conflicts, but you are causing it. You're trying to control your world and safety by trying to make everyone the same. Concern yourself with your own life and what is right for you personally, while suspending judgment about what is right for everyone. Once the inner conflict goes away in you, it will disappear from the face of the world. Yes, I definitely relate to this one, and that's probably why I was drawn to it the most. It's almost like they're all related because it feels like, oh, if people don't understand me or, share my point of view or see or experience things in the same way, maybe I don't deserve to experience things in the way I experience them. Then, maybe what I think is self-loving or what I think would bring me happiness, maybe it's not worth doing it. Maybe I should seek out happiness in the way, other people would, through other people's understanding of what self-love is. And it says here with this comfort card that in this week, there's a lot of things are coming to almost a culmination point, and people are with this card here for the theme. It feels like a lot of us have really realized that we need to create what we want in this life. And now, that sounds like a cliche thing. Of course, you want to create what you want in this life. But before we were looking at it, from different kind of perspective, like, oh yeah, by doing this or that, I will get there. But now it's more of we realize how much we're actually responsible for it with this Ace of, I see this as an Ace of Pentacles as well, which is, for me also represents some kind of commitment to doing something physically, to commit to this self-love, to commit to, making choices that are good for you in the physical and following through no matter, what anyone else is gonna say here with this diversity card, or if they're gonna see it or not the same way. But, it's leaving us a bit rigid. It's leaving us rigid because, we know what we already, okay, this is coming through in a strange way, but it says that we know what we already know what works, but we don't know what could work, and we don't want to find out because it might not work, and it might, if you try here in this, salt ring, you're in your same old way of loving yourself. Whatever that means for you, you already know what makes you feel at least a little better. You know what activities, which people do you enjoy, or, what actions when you take, you feel better about yourself. And you may have some kind of hunches or ideas or instincts of how you could love yourself better, what you could do. But these things, even though they might be good for you, they're unfamiliar, and consequences of these actions are not something that you're sure about will bring you positive outcomes. So in this case, we feel reluctant and we're a little rigid here. We're rigid when it comes to our self-love. We're rigid, when it comes to, and also this kind of almost agreeing with others or not doing anything that is out of norm, or if someone close to us really disagrees or misunderstands something we want to do, we take that energy upon ourselves and we say, okay, well then maybe I don't have to do that, maybe that was just a stupid idea. But then you're committing a small, self-betrayal here. if you know what I'm saying. And still it's keeping you in this protection bubble when you're like, yeah, okay, I'm staying here, but... And I feel like a lot of us have been shedding things, and this is almost like the death card in the regular tarot. It's, so shedding what no longer serves us, I feel like, I mean, it depends on, everybody has their own path and their own journey in this life, so it depends where you are at right now. But I feel like that during this year, people have definitely let go of some things that no longer serve them, whether it's people, jobs, situations, mindsets. But I don't think this particular card in this instant, when it comes to this week, is about that. It speaks to me more about, this rigidity, this, in a... it's just a call to become more adaptable, more flexible, more open-minded. And ultimately this card, this vibration is used, I'm already familiar with this frequency painting, and it is used to help people also release resistance they feel to death, or, so... But death can mean many things. It can be physical death, but it can also be a death of our old selves, our old lives. It can be a fear of change as well, because during every change you die, in a way. Even positive change can feel unnerving, and it is natural and normal to feel reluctant to it. But this is just calling to the surface, like, okay, what are we here to do? Nobody's making you make those changes. You're the one who wants them, but you're the one who's not allowing yourself to do them because the outcome is uncertain. I mean, the only certain outcome in this life that we can get, if we don't take any risks, is that, nothing exciting ever happens to us again. Or, our joys can be minimal, because if you think about, when did you really experience joy in life? I mean, any kind of joy for you, that also includes peace, but joy usually comes from, getting into alignment with your desire, or, seeing something you want to grow, like being in a new territory. Part of joy is discovery, is curiosity, is surprise. I mean, not maybe shocking surprise, but, like, oh, like... It's an exciting type of feeling. So if you just keep doing the same things you're familiar with, yeah, maybe you won't feel pain, maybe you won't, you won't suffer as much as in the potential. You don't have a potential of suffering as much as if you do something new, but it's been coming through in some previous readings when I was doing them for the collective, that that fear is not really proportional to the actual risk. It's, you may be fearing some kind of, how would I say it? Some kind of bad outcome, like, oh, what can happen? But that's your mind trying to explain to you the energy which you're feeling, which is normal whenever you want to step out of your comfort zone and do things differently. And even while it feels good, it can feel unnerving and, unsettling. And you can feel like, oh, I just want to quit because reasons. Okay, so I hope that this at least gives you some kind of perspective about what you might be going through this week and what might be asked of you. So basically you're asked to try to love yourself in new ways, in maybe more out of your comfort zone ways, also to shed your rigidity, become more flexible, become more aware that there's really not much to lose in this situation. You can only gain. And whatever suffering might be still in front of you, you're strong enough to endure it, and it won't be for nothing. I mean, we don't know that suffering, what can come from these situations. But it's mostly showing that these fears, but sometimes the way to release resistance to it is to accept it. So what if you end up suffering from some decision? There's a song that says, there's a line that says within it, like, lose is more than hesitate. And I do believe that. Not in all situations, but when you're really dwelling on something, when you're going into circles, like at least try to do something different. If you lose, then you will gain some knowledge from it, or you will know, okay, that's not it, so I don't have to dwell on it anymore, or I can change my approach. Anyway, it's very, use your own discernment. We're talking about a specific energy here. All of this doesn't go for every situation, but in this context, yes. So, okay, let's get... What else can we get here? Yeah, and so, yes, shedding that mindset, basically shedding that protection a little bit. Realizing that there's not much to lose. And when you release resistance to that fears, this third card is saying that anyway, those fears that you do experience and have are not so much based on the objective reality of what can go wrong in your life if you make these changes, or if you do something different for yourself. And sometimes you just have to accept that, okay, maybe something bad will happen. Can I deal with it if it does? And that way you release resistance enough so that you can actually do it, and then get a confirmation. Like, oh, this wasn't that bad, and I love the gain. I love what I've gained from this. I want to keep doing more of these things. Building a positive relationship with acting on your self-love is basically coming up here as the strongest thing. So let's get a tarot card or two as an advice, like any side messages or advices for the collective at this time, for this week. So December 28th until January the 3rd approximately. This doesn't have to resonate. This could already be happening for a while or a little bit later. This is just to give it some kind of time frame. Okay. 4 of Swords and one more. Okay, so with this, we're getting an interesting message. So this is not, maybe this sounded a little bit preachy to you, or, like, oh, you need to do now this and that and take some action. This is a reading about awareness and about, seeing what options we have ahead of us and what energy are we dealing with. Nobody's saying here, oh, you need to deal with it right away. And with these two tarot cards, we're getting the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Cups in reverse. So this is telling me that the only thing during this time, the most important thing during this time, is to take time to yourself, to realize what it is that you're unwilling to let go and why. How is it serving you? Whether it is, why is this inflexibility here? What is it doing for you? What do you think you're getting out of it? Because we're never really self-sabotaging. All of our actions are in our favor, but we're either sometimes we make these decisions without really, they're more of an instinct or more of a response because of, beliefs that we already have. So this is just calling for like some peace, quiet time for yourself, meditation, however you relax, wherever you feel safe enough. Pay attention to how you're being in this protective energy, in this comfort zone. How are the opinions of others bothering you? Why are you allowing them to bother you? Or why are you clinging to your old ways? What's in it for you? And try to seek out what needs it is fulfilling to you and find another way to meet those needs. So basically, this is a time for contemplation. I hope that you enjoyed this short reading. 20 minutes, not that short, I guess, for a collective reading. But anyway, I wish you all the best, and I hope that I will see you another time. Bye bye.